What is up, guys? It's JCJ here with our EDL Gold Season 3 Week 2 video. We've just come off the back of a brilliant win in Week 1, thanks to Neuven, our Specs Neuven, Patient Zero putting in the work, getting five massive kills against Hazel, and cleaning up the game. Good start, but we're going for 2 in a row now. A 2 in a row start would be fantastic for us, and we're taking on Spooks and the Downtown Duskulls. They won their first week game as well against Scamp, I think. Yeah, they beat Scamp in their first week game. They brought your standard 6. They brought Tang, Ladias, Ordino, Ditto, Nihiligo, and then I think they made a trade on their other one. Yeah, they made a trade, but that's who we're taking on in this first week, so I guess let's just get straight into the matchup. So they have a Lander Asterion, which is also their Z captain. Lander Asterion is a really powerful ground and flying type, great physical offense, decent 91 base speed, often run with Scarf or defensive with its ability Intimidate. 4 times weak to ice as well, but it gets rock. It can set up rocks. You can get rid of rocks with Defog. It can sweep with Swords Dance, Agility, I think, Double Dance, something like that. Also, with its Z move, it also gets Fly in EMZ, which is something that we should watch out for. It could also run Continental Crush. I believe that's the rock Z move name. Z Stone Edge could be a thing as well. But I could see Z Fly to take out. Actually, Z Fly seems a bit unrealistic. I don't think it'll run a Z move this week. It doesn't look like there's anything it can really run a Z move on, or it's worth running a Z move on. But we'll see. He's got a Nihiligo, which is a powerful special attacker with Beast Boost. It's really fast at base 103 speed. It gets great coverage as well as a fantastic dual offensive typing and Rock Poison. But we have a number of things that can come in on it, and a number of mons that it doesn't get coverage for. I don't think this thing will show up, but I wouldn't be surprised if it does, just because of how powerful it is. He's got a Ditto, which is very scary. I personally don't like going up against Ditto. It basically, it comes in and it uses its imposter ability to transform into you, into the Pokemon that's currently on the field, copies base stats, copies abilities and everything. It's very scary, and it creates a whole new dynamic that not only do you have to beat their team, but you have to beat the team that you brought as well. You have to be able to beat each mon on your team. It's a bit scary. He's got a Ribombi as well, a Bug Fairy type. It's a web setup, which is a bit annoying. It's also a Quiver Dance sweeper. Gets Quiver Dance. It gets Bug Buzz, Moonblast, Giga Drain. I think no hidden power hinders it a bit, but it's still a threat, and it can still come and set up webs if that's what he wants to do with it. He's got a Registeel, which is a really bulky steel type, base 150 defenses and 80 HP. It's really tanky, really hard to break down, sets up rocks, can toxic you, iron heads you, seismic toss. Curse is also a viable set. This thing is just really hard to break down, especially because you can't toxic it. He's got an Ordino, which is his low tier Wish Passer, makeshift Wish Passer. It's got a pretty big HP stat with 103, and not bad defenses as well. It gets the Regenerator ability, so it can heal itself on switching. This thing is really just, I guess, his Cleric, just a low tier Cleric option if he ever needs it. If he doesn't want to run it on Ladias, just to, I guess, heal up the rest of his team, like particularly Registeel and Incineroar and Lantern that don't really get reliable recovery. He's got a Mega Ladias, which is his other Wish Passer, a lot more reliable, but typically run offensive, bit bulky, maybe like a Stored Power Calm Mindset. It's got fantastic defenses, 102 defense, 105 special defense, 110 speed, so it's really, really fast, and outspeeds almost all of my team. Really high 140 special attack stat. It's typically run, as I said, Calm Mind, Stored Power, Cosmic Power, that kind of thing. Maybe Reflect type as well. It can change its type to whatever Pokemon I have on it at the moment. So if it's like a Mega Scizor versus Mega Latias matchup, it can use Reflect type, turn into a Steel Bug type. In which case, it only really has one weakness. It's a bit harder to deal with. He's got a Lantern, which is another really bulky, it's his bulky water type, Water Electric. Really great HP stat, not too flash on the defenses or the speed, but it can still take a hit really well. It gets Water Absorb and Volt Absorb as well, so it has like a Water immunity and an Electric immunity, which makes it really hard to predict for stuff like Rotom Wash and a bit for Volcanion as well. I expect this thing to show up as like a Volcanion switch-in of sorts. He's got an Incineroar, which is a really strong, bulky Fire and Dark type that gets Intimidate as well. 115 attack stat, not bad speed. Typically run with like Parting Shot, Assault Vest, could be Choice Banded, could be Choice Scarfed. But typically Parting Shot with maybe Leftovers or something, or Assault Vest are the sets that Incineroar usually runs, or some sort of Berry. He's got a Tangrowth, which is a really, really, really annoying, bulky Grass type, 100 HP, 125 defense, 50 special defense, mixed attacker as well. This thing comes in, it can run Assault Vest, so it can boost its special defense and really mess with you there. It gets Regenerator, so it can heal itself when it switches out, so he's got a bit of a Regenerator core there with Audino and Tangrowth, which can be very annoying to break down, but it's definitely not the best Regenerator core in the world. It can Leech Seed you, it can put you to sleep, can paralyze you. It can do a number of different things. All in all, it's really annoying, and it's sort of hard to predict. You kind of have to wait to see what kind of set he's running, because he could be running any set. He could run Assault Vest, but I don't think he'll really run Assault Vest here. I think he'll run more of a physically defensive set, but, you know, it is what it is. And he's got a Delmise for his last Pokemon, a really powerful Ghost Grass type that also gets the ability Steel Worker, so its Steel type moves essentially get a stab boost as well. So it's got pretty much 2 defensive typings but 3 offensive typings. It's pretty slow, but it hits like an absolute truck. It's typically run with Assault Vest or Leftovers with Synthesis, so it can heal itself back up. I guess it really depends on what you want it to do, but Assault Vest Delmise would probably be more likely than Assault Vest Tangrowth. It also gets Rapid Spin, so it can get rid of it can get rid of hazards. He doesn't have that much hazard removal, I believe. He's got Landorus for defog, Latias for defog. I think Ribombi gets defog as well. He doesn't have. He's got limited hazard removal options, sort of, but he's got a really strong team. He won his first week. He's won his first game against Scamp, who's one of the better coaches in the EDL. So we faced him in TBA a few weeks ago, and we know that he is not one to mess around with. Looking at his type, looking at the type matchup here, he does have a few big weaknesses, but he patches them up really nicely, like Fighting Fire, Ground, and Ice. But we can kind of abuse it, but not really. So I guess let's just look at our team. First of all, we've got a Leftovers Volcanion with Flamethrower, Steam Eruption, Earth Power, and Substitute. This thing is slower than all of his offensive Pokemon and faster naturally than all of his defensive Pokemon. It can essentially come in on something, it can substitute up on a Toxic or something like that, and then it can just, then it can just go to town on his team. The issue with this is, though, that Mega Latias comes in on it 100% of the time, because it resists its dual stab and Earth Power coverage it's immune to because of its Levitate ability, but I needed it for Lantern. But so it's kind of a trade-off there. But this thing can put in a lot of work if Mega Latias goes down, and it can put in a lot of work regardless. It can get some decent chip on the Latias, and we might even be able to burn it to whittle it down. Next up, we got Manfred, our Eviolite Piloswine with Oblivious, not Thick Fat, purely because of his 2 Intimidate users and how they're both weak to Piloswine's dual stab. Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Ice Shard, Icicle Crash, very especially defensive with some attack investment and an adamant nature. This thing is essentially like our Landorus switch-in. It can come in on Nihilego. It can come in on a number of things like Incineroar, I believe. But mainly the Landorus. It ice shards for priority, so priority can also hit the Latias. We've got a lot of priority here, but it's a bit of a special defense tank. It comes in, sets up rocks, gets a few earthquakes and icicle crashes off, and puts in a bit of offensive pressure while also being a bit of a defensive pivot. Next up, we got our choice scarf Mienshao called Redemption, Reckless High Jump Kick, U-Turn, Knockoff, Poison Jab. This is our scarf mon. It outspeeds Nihilego. It outspeeds Scarf Nihilego. The only thing it doesn't outspeed is Scarf Ribombi or Ribombi after a Quiver Dance, because Mega Latias can't run Scarf. So we really have a good advantage, and it puts us up. It sets us up well. We can U-turn off on his Intimidate mons like Landorus and Incineroar, and we can put in a lot of work with High Jump Kick. We can knock off some items. We can Poison Jab, and we got Poison Jab coverage for the Ribombi and for his Grass type Pokemon Tangrowth and Delmise. Hopefully this thing can put in some work. It's probably going to be our lead depending on what he brings, but this is a very likely lead for us. Next up, we got our Heavy Duty Boots, Togekiss, Hacks with Wings, Serene Grace with Wish, Air Slash, Flamethrower, and Protect. This is our Wish Passer. It comes in on quite a lot of things. It heals up the team and heals up itself. Hopefully we can get some flinch hacks off, but I don't really want it to come down to that. We can also get big flamethrowers off on the Registeel, which can be useful for us. And if that Mega Latias does use Reflect type on my Scizor, then I can use Flamethrower against it, as it's a 4x super effective move. So that's also sort of a little niche there. It's also kind of useful. Next up, we got Washko Burr. He's coming back. Leftovers with Nasty Plot, Thunderbolt, Hydro Pump, and Toxic. This thing gets up a Nasty Plot and just goes to town. It can heal itself back up. We're running really bulky as well, so we can take hits. But the Toxic there is for the Mega Latias and the Lantern coming in on its dual stab. Everything else doesn't want to take a hit. Maybe the Tangrowth, maybe the Delmise. But we can get a Toxic off on those too. So we basically Toxic his switch-ins and hit his team hard. And last but not least, we got Lesbian Bug, our Mega Scizor with Bullet Punch, U-Turn, Roost, and Defog. Pretty similar to last week. We got max HP, a bit of special defense, so we can, I think it's so we can live a few hits from Nihilego, or we can live a Mystical Fire. I don't think we live a Mystical Fire from the Latias, but we can live a few hits from Nihilego, Ribombi, Landorus, Tangrowth, Delmise, etc. We can Roost to heal ourselves up, Defog to keep hazards off the field, and Bullet Punch, U-Turn for priority and for momentum. Slow momentum into something like maybe Rotom or to Piloswine could be very useful for us. Or fast momentum, because I believe it outspeeds all of his defensive mons. So that could be really useful for us. Anyways, this is the team we got for this week. Hopefully we can come out on top with our second win in a row and second win of the season. But we'll see how we do. So I will see you guys in the battle in just a few moments. Hey guys, we're back. We're about to get into our EDL Season 3 Week 2 battle against Spooks. We're sending the challenge now. We're getting our calcs up ready to go as well. So those are set up. We're just waiting for Spooks to... There we go, we're in. Alright, let me just send the link. Alright. Alright, so we brought the Nihilego, which is something I honestly didn't expect. He brought the Incineroar, he brought the Lantern, he brought the the Mega Latias, the Ditto, and the Landorus Therian. Okay, he didn't bring the Ribombi, didn't bring the Registeel, didn't bring the Tangrowth or the Delmise, so that's absolutely fantastic. I'm still surprised that the Nihilego showed up, but we do have ways around it. I think the best thing what we're going to do is we're going to lead with... He's probably going to lead with the Landorus, so I think we'll lead with Rotom or we'll lead with Piloswine. I feel like he either leads with Incineroar. How much is Piloswine taking from Incineroar? A lot. Okay, but if he leads Incineroar... Actually, no, because it might be Intimidate. I think we'll lead Piloswine, because Piloswine can deal with a lot of his potential leads. including the Ditto, we can get an Icicle Crash off on it because it's not thick fat, but we're not thick fat either, which could be a problem. But I think Piloswine is probably the best lead for us, and we'll see how we go. Whew, I'm nervous. I'm so nervous. Spooks is a fantastic battler. We faced him in TBA a few weeks ago, as I probably mentioned already. I am recording. Alright. Okay, so we led with the Heligo. It's not air balloon, so I think we're probably safe to get off a... fuck off, J-Caps. We're probably safe to get off an Earthquake right off the bat. How much are we doing with it how much are we doing with... assuming it's a Choice Scarf variant. We eat a Grass Knot. We're doing a lot with Icicle Crash as well. Icicle Crash into Ice Shard is a chance to... might kill, but probably won't. Let's just go for the Icicle Crash, because we live any hit. Okay, so it goes into the Ditto. This should be big, because it's not going to be thick fat. Yeah, that's big damage. Alright, now I think we go into the Rotom. We go into Rotom. I think that's the safest play. He goes for the Stealth Rock. Alright, we can get a Toxic off on something. We can get a Toxic off on the incoming Lantern. Yeah, there we go. Lantern can't really do a lot back to us, but it can Toxic us. So we'll probably go into... Do I want to take a Toxic? I mean, we probably could take a Toxic, but what are we doing back? It's gonna be Volt Absorb or Water Absorb, but I don't know which one. Probably because of Volcanion, it might be Water Absorb. So we might go for a Thunderbolt, because Thunderbolt should do a fair amount. This is tough. Because he clicks... What would he click on us? He'd click Volt Switch for momentum, or he'd click Toxic. I'm fine if he wants to get a Toxic off on me, but the question is, what do I do back to it? Is it... I'm going to go for a nasty plot. I'm going to go for a Thunderbolt. I'm going to scout out its ability. Okay, so it is Volt Absorb. Good to know. And he goes for a Scald. He gets the burn, so we can probably just stay in a nasty plot up and get a Hydro Pump off later. Okay, so he goes for the Volt Switch as we get a nasty plot off. Oh, and he goes into the Ditto. I completely forgot about that. Ditto's locked into one move though, so we can probably just let Rotom go down. We'll go for a Thunderbolt. We might live. No, we don't. He went for a Thunderbolt though, so we can go into Piloswine. I forgot about Ditto. We'll go into Piloswine. We can probably get our Stealth Rocks back as he goes for a switch. Because he's probably Scarfed. Chances are he's Scarfed. Yeah, he is. Okay, so we get the rocks up as he goes into Incineroar. We can go into Togekiss as he goes for a Will-O-Wisp on us. That's alright. Let's go for a Wish. Let's Wish up as he does U-turn into something else. So that thing is... Okay. I forgot. No, I just hate Ditto. Okay, so he goes into Lusamine. We're going to go into Manfred because we live any hit. We're going to go into Manfred because we live any hit, and we can probably go for we'll probably go for another Icicle Crash back. Okay, we live the Grass Knot and we get HP back. We'll go for an Icicle Crash now. I think Icicle Crash into... Okay, so it just goes for another Grass Knot. My God. Okay, we don't want to let Piloswine go down, so I think we're going to go into Scizor now. That was just... that's a massive miss. I don't appreciate that. We can probably go for a Bullet Punch, or we can go for I think we'll go for a Defog on the switch. Okay, so he goes into Incineroar. He takes big damage, but we have to go for Defog to clear the hazards out for our Manfred. We can now go back into Togekiss, I think. Yeah, I think going back into Togekiss is the safest play, so we're going to do that. We need to keep Piloswine around though. We can't afford to let it take damage. Okay, this thing is choice, so we're going to go for Protect and see what it does. Power Gem. Okay. How much is Scizor taking from a Power Gem? No, not Togekiss. Scizor. We're taking about 40%, and we can roost it back up. But we threaten with Bullet Punch. Bullet Punch should kill, though. Yeah, it does. So let's go into Scizor. Oh, he just goes for the rock, so he's not choiced. So I think I can... I think what I might do... He's got rocks on 2 Mons, has he? Oh, no, he got it with Ditto. Okay, so he's choiced. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go for the U-turn, getting that to get that momentum back. So I don't think he stays in here. If he does, though, we could get some good chip on Incineroar, though. And we are Boots, so we can heal ourselves back up. So let's go for the... Okay, so he goes into Lantern. Okay. This is tough. How much are we taking from a Lantern? We're not taking much. We can probably just stay in and roost. Or we can stay in... And I think we actually outspeed it. So we can go for a U-turn. Yeah, that's big damage. And we can probably go into Redemption. How much is Redemption taking? We don't want to take a burn though, but how much is Redemption taking? Yeah, like 50%, that's fine. Let's go into Redemption. Please don't burn us. Please don't burn us. I swear to God. Oh, thank God. Okay. Now I think we can go for a U-turn here. Yeah. Alright, we get rid of that thing, and I think we go into... I think we can probably go into Manfred. Or we go into Togekiss. If we go into Scizor, what does he do? He goes into Incineroar. So we can switch into Togekiss, and we can get... or we can get a Wish off and heal something back up. Yeah, I think that's the play here. We'll go into Scizor. Because then he goes into Incineroar, we can just switch hard into Togekiss and heal up. This is going to be tough. We kind of need... Okay, so here's the Landorus. How much is Landorus doing to Scizor? Assuming it's Scarf. Earthquake does like... Okay, we'll roost up. Okay, he just... Okay, so he's that. He's Substitute. Let's U-turn and we can go into... Okay, we eat that. Now we U-turn and we can go into... What should we do? We can probably go into Manfred. This thing... Okay, this is actually really problematic. We can probably go into Manfred, but... Okay, we might have to let... Maybe Redemption. Yeah, I think we have to go into Redemption. We get a knockoff off, and then we can go into Manfred and we can Ice Shard. Let's do that. We get the knockoff as he rock polishes. Okay. We might still outspeed, and we do. Okay, so he's Z Crystal. He knocks us out with that, but now we can go into Manfred and we can go straight for the Ice Shard. And we knock it out. Perfect. Alright, at this point, we can't really use Manfred too much, so we can probably let it... Actually, no, we might keep it around for the Latias. We might have to keep it around for the Latias. We've still got Volcanion, though, but that Ditto is really annoying. We can probably set up a sub on the Incineroar, though. Okay, so he brings in LUSAMINE. We can probably just go for another Ice Shard and knock it out, and then we can go into Scizor. Or we can just go hard Scizor. How much are we taking from it again? Nihilego, 40%. Yeah, we don't want that. We need Togekiss around because it's our Incineroar switch-in, so I think our best play really is just to... But what do we do to... How do we beat Latias later then? I guess just with Scizor. Ice Shard does a good chunk, and Power Gem will knock us out. That special attack boost is annoying, but now we can go into... our Scizor and we can Bullet Punch. I kind of forgot Beast Boost was a thing. Now we can go hard into Togekiss. And we can Wish up. Okay, so he goes into Nihilego. Let's protect on whatever he's going to do. Power Gem. Okay, that's fine. When we have a bit of a problem now. We might have to... Wish again. How much is Togekiss taking from Nihilego? A lot. This is annoying. What we can do after... Okay, what can we do? What can we do? I think we're in a really bad spot. I think we might lose. I shouldn't have let Rotom go down. I should have run a bulky defensive set, not a nasty plot set. I wasn't thinking about the Ditto when I made that. God, I'm an idiot. I think our best play might just be to stay in, because we can use Volcanion to break down his team. What's our play? If we let... We need Scizor to kill Nihilego. We need Scizor to kill Nihilego. What I can do is I can let Togekiss go down. I can go into Scizor and I can roost up on the switch, because he has to keep Nihilego around, I think. I can roost up on the switch into Incineroar to save differential, because he'll probably do that. And then I can hard into Volcanion when he goes and... Yeah, then I can hard into Volcanion to take any hit, and hopefully he doesn't U-turn. I think that's the play. So in that case, I guess... How much... What are we doing? Air Slash does more, so I guess we just go for the Air Slash chip. Okay, now I think we protect to maybe just stall it out of a turn. Yeah. And then we'll just try and go for the Air Slash again. Jeez, I really underestimated this Nihilego. I thought we had ways to deal with it. I didn't actually think it would come because we have Mark. Alright, now we go into Scizor. He knows Bullet Punch kills, so I think we roost. My god! He didn't switch. Yeah, we lose now. GG. That was annoying. I was banking on... I was banking on the switch. I should have just gone for the Bullet Punch. That was probably the safer play, but... You know, it is what it is. We lose 4-0 to Spooks. But, you know... It is what it is. I made a few dumb mistakes, and... Spooks is just a brilliant battler. Well done to him. And I will see you guys in the next battle, in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I always forget to say that after videos, but don't forget to like and subscribe. It really means a lot. So I will see, yeah, again, I will see you in the next video.